Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another FEM Talk Tuesday. Woohoo! So, listen, I'm going to bring in the ladies of FEM Talk. I don't have much to say without my girls. We've got Brandy, the disconnector.
What up, what up, what up?
We have Mimi, Melissa Simmons, girl, bossed up.
Hello.
And we have Shima, she talks.
Look at her.
You notice how I sang all of your names?
Are we singing today?
Listen, I have an uncle, right? And back in the day, every time you used to walk in his house, like everything he would say to you, it was like he was singing it to you. So it just made me think about him.
As usual, that always reminds me of a random kid movie. There's this movie called Hoodwinked. And there was this goat that got cursed and he couldn't talk. He had to sing everything.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds cute.
That's cute.
I don't know if I like that.
Have to try that. Go around singing all day long.
No.
Well, listen, you guys know what time it is on the show and how
Right off
we
the bat.
start this show.
Wow.
So we have something special for everybody out there. But first,
Hot topic.
it is our FEM Talk hot topic. So let me share my screen. Okay.
It's going to be wonderful.
Because I have to
Wonderful
show this
job.
to everybody. We are going to share the screen.
Just in case y'all missed it.
Yeah.
Right.
In case you missed it.
Oh, can everybody see that?
I missed it.
No,
Can you see that?
No.
I just see us look wonderful.
You can't
Yeah.
see the screen?
No, we can't see the screen, sis.
Not
Not
now?
yet.
No.
No? Okay, hold on. Oh, please.
Right, she broke it. In the
Right.
meantime, go get your Fem Talk merch,
In the
y'all.
meantime,
FemTalkMerch.com. Go get yours.
Uno
Wow,
minuto, please.
I ain't doing too good.
We're gonna
Brandy.
bring this back up.
You good?
We are going to bring this back up. Everybody just bear with me. One moment here. And I had it all queued up and ready to go too. Okay.
This is a good moment for free advertising.
That's right.
While you get that queued up, sis, I'd like to say good evening to Miss Regina Ramfolf, aka Tracy's mom.
That's right. That's my mommy.
And Daniel is in the house. Welcome.
Woo, 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 woo.
And of course, our special guest.
And that's my boy
commenting
there,
from our
Dano.
beautiful audience in the background, Miss Jannette Ramos.
Hello, Miss Ramos.
Now,
Are you enjoying the snacks in the green room?
All right. So here we go. Let me try this again. Okay, so for Brandy and Dano out there, don't laugh at me. These are two tech people. They understand all this technology back here, but I don't.
Hey, I'm gonna let you fail forward, sis. Do it. Come on.
But
now.
I'm getting it together. I'm telling you, I'm getting
That's
it together.
right.
So I'm sharing my screen right now. Okay. Wait a minute. Here we go. Oops. What happened? Window. Okay, here we go. All right. Now, can you guys see it? Can you see it?
Yes. Hit the button and make it big so that everybody
All right.
Play.
So we have to play this. Hold on. I want to make sure that I catch her from the very beginning, okay? Because you have to hear this. Okay,
Yes.
here we go. We're just going to start it right here. So
Okay,
this, ladies and gentlemen out there, this is the Cheryl Lee Ralph receiving her Emmy, and this is her acceptance speech. Here we go. And I hope you all can hear it.
I am an endangered species, but I sing no victim song. I am a woman, I am an artist, and I know
Yes. Wow.
Belong.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it for 1 minute. I'm just gonna pause right here because I just gotta say, woohoo! When you start off a speech that way, it was so powerful, so moving, so inspiring,
I
and
am
it
an
just felt
endangered
deep.
species.
She just bellowed. She just bellowed that out. So tell me, ladies, what you think before I continue with
Oh
that.
my God.
So why'd you pause it?
I had to. Okay, we're gonna keep going. We'll keep going, and then we'll talk
Right?
about it afterwards.
I was watching that.
To anyone who has ever had a dream and thought your dream wouldn't, couldn't come true, I am here to tell you that this is what believing looks like. This is what striving looks like. And don't you ever give up on you.
Woo!
Wow.
I mean, come on. I'm going to take it down now. But my goodness. What?
She killed
I
it.
love it.
So
Love her.
powerful.
Killed
So
it.
powerful. And I just want to say, listen, to all of the women, it doesn't matter what color, what culture, to all of the women, because she was speaking to all of the women out there about following your dreams and being able to achieve, and when you heard that song, it moved me so much. And I didn't even watch the Emmys. Okay, I'm just gonna be real and transparent here. I did not watch the Emmys, but that popped up on my phone today, and I was like, ooh, it made me look, because it was Shirley Ralph, and she is, a seasoned actress. So to hear that she won an Emmy, I was just happy for her. So I clicked on it, and when I saw it, it gave me chills. It really did. And it makes me think about us and just the movement that we have here with Fem Talk. And just as Jannette was saying backstage,
Yes.
as she was saying backstage, just for us to keep going and keep doing what we're doing. Man, that just inspired me.
This is her first Emmy? Because she's played so many powerful roles over her career.
Yeah.
First Emmy. I don't know if she got a Tony, but she is the original Dreamgirls in Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
A lot of the kids, we remember her from, that's Moesha's mom in Moesha with Brandy.
That's one of the first things I remember her in, but she's also one of my most recent shows that I love.
Avid Element.
Avid
Element. Not even that way. This is a little known one that most people don't even know is there. It's called Motherland.
Yes.
She played the president in that show.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
See, I mean, she's been around and talk. Oh, I'm sorry. And talk about Black Don't Crack. She is 65.
She's beautiful.
Wow.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. That ponytail was one.
What?
Yeah.
She was fabulous. And came and represent. I mean, it. And mind you, she wasn't the quote unquote big award for the evening, but the fact that she won, the respect, she got a standing ovation because everybody knows who she is.
Yeah.
This is not a newcomer to the game. And she got a standing ovation because they know who she is, they know her history, they know who she's been for years. Constant. This is one of those constant actresses that has always represented the brand so well.
Yeah. And all says the same thing about her. Everybody says the same thing about her.
Right.
Like, she's always at these award shows. She's always never, like she said, they never asked her to present, but she's always there. And she's always given this encouraging word to whoever gets on the stage or whoever walks by her. They all say the same thing. So she's been giving and giving and giving and giving, and now she has gotten.
Yeah.
And you know,
about the hands being open.
Cicely Tyson.
Yeah.
Yes.
She was another one that she was extremely powerful, did many, many things in her career, and didn't get noticed until later in her career.
Yeah.
Same genre, same, because don't forget, we are still Black women. And what we get exposed to, our opportunities, even when we're phenomenal. I mean, everybody remembers Dreamgirls, the original Dreamgirls. Not the Beyonce, Jennifer Hudson. They repped well, but that's the original Dreamgirls on Broadway. And she made it. and and her the writer for Abbott Elementary, Quinta Brunson, she also won
She
last night.
won. Yeah.
Best writing, which is unheard of for, her and my other girl, my comedian girl from her name just left me. Issa. Is it Issa?
Issa Rae? Issa Rae?
These are women that now are getting the opportunity to write. Black women are getting an opportunity to write and really out there. So kudos, shout out to those women. But again, I think our this is talking about royalty. This is royalty. So all hail the queen. We said that differently over the last week, but she's a queen. She is the queen out there.
Yeah.
So all hail.
Absolutely agree. Woo! So we have a queen waiting backstage, everybody. And you have to see her backstage. She's so cute. You have to see her back there, but we're going to bring her in. But I want to introduce her first. She is an author, a model, a speaker, an actress, a fitness instructor. She is doing it all. She has a transitional home called It Takes a Village. And we're going to ask her, I'm not even going to read the full bio about why she's doing what she's doing, because we want her to tell you herself why she's so passionate about what she is doing. Her name is Jannette Ramos. We had her backstage, and Brandy's like, I don't really know you, but I've seen you everywhere. You're everywhere. Because she is a light. She's a wonderful mother as well. She has 2 sons. She used to be a social worker, so this probably ties into why she's so passionate about what she's doing. But we're going to bring her on in the room and allow her to tell us why she's doing what she is doing. And today, by the way, everybody, we are talking about trauma and triumph. So who better to come in and talk about this passion of hers and helping people get from trauma to triumph. So everybody, I want you to give us a round of applause. Beat your table, hit the bell for Jannette Ramos. Woo! Yes, we got to put you up top here.
Hi, hello. I am happy to be here.
Yeah.
I'm doing the singing since you guys were talking about the singing coming in, the singing game.
I love it.
Wonderful.
I love it. Thank you for that.
You kind of play, y'all.
Pleasure to be here, ladies. Shima, I just had to address what you were talking about earlier really quickly before I forget this thought, in that what she did was she was giving a service. So this woman has been giving this service for years, and she went unnoticed, but her time finally came, because you can't give all this free service, all this free advice, all this free encouragement and not get it in return. So it was her time, and she did an outstanding job. And the fact that she's 65, she looks amazing. She's great. We all want to get there when we're 65, right? We want to look, this is great, but
absolutely,
it's service above self. And that's what she's demonstrated all these years. And it was just her time to get what was due. So it was great to see that. A great clip.
Absolutely.
Very great clip.
Absolutely. So we're going to say some hellos. We got Aunt Jannette out there. We got the weekly dose of Dano. So if you guys don't know Dano, you want to make sure that you catch him on E360 TV as well on Thursday evenings. And that's Aunt Jannette again. All right, we just wanted to give everybody some love out there. All right, so listen, we're going to get into this with you. We love your background. I want you to give us some of your backstory first. You know what you were doing, because I know you are a employment dropout to a corporate dropout now as well. But I want you to tell us, Brandy.
Sounds a little harsh there.
I love it. Corporate dropouts. I love it.
Corporate drop right here in the house. Yes, it's me.
Hey, I'm going on 5 years this month.
Woo, that's huge,
awesome.
Brandy.
You got bigger and better things, and obviously this is one of the things. I say, you ladies, I could see you as being the talk, like the show The Talk. So keep making it happening. Whatever you ladies are doing, keep moving forward, because there's bigger and better things on the horizon.
Yes. Ooh, and you heard it here first, everybody, right here from Jannette on FEM Talk. Just
bring me back to the show.
Right.
Absolutely.
So we want to talk to you about, how you got started. Like talk about what you were doing, and then kind of lead up to, it takes a village, and why you're
Yeah.
so passionate about that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I am a former DCPMP, is what they call it here in the state of New Jersey, which is DIFAS, Child Protective Agency, DHS. I'm not sure what they call it in other states, but I worked there for about 20, almost 21 years. And after the 20th year, I just decided that this was something I did not want to do any longer. I don't know in your lives, but if you've dealt with CPS or DHS, it can be draining. And I was living it from the inside, meaning I got to see a lot of things that really weren't that pretty as far as removing children, dealing with mothers, dealing with families, dealing with foster parents, that kind of arena. So after 20 years, I just decided that I did not want to go back. And that's tough, right? You're in a position, you've been somewhere for 20 years, you figure 5 to 7 more years, you're on the home stretch, right? You're about to retire. So hey, that's it. After that, you can go do whatever you want. However, I was just mentally drained from the red tape that goes behind that, not being able to make decisions because I had to report to higher ups who made those decisions as far as their children were concerned. And after 20 years, I said, that's it. I'm done. I got to go. Tell me what you need me to do. I'm going to go do it. Hence, It Takes a Village Housing came into its existence. It's been in its existence since October of 2021. I hit the ground running. And basically what it is it's transitional housing and wraparound services for mothers who have been affected by drugs and alcohol. Hey, we all know somebody out there, a sister, a mother, a cousin, a friend, somebody that's either been involved with drugs, has lost her kids, been in the system, got her kids, or maybe she didn't get her kids. And there's a lot. I'm blurting this out to you ladies, but of course it's more intense, it's more deep than what it sounds. And so It Takes a Village Housing is the entity that is come up and wants to preserve families rather than remove families. So, in other words, a prime example will be there's a mom who's on the verge of losing her kids. Well, It Takes a Village Housing is here to say, hey, listen, give her a second chance, let her come with her children to this facility. She will raise her kids for up to 2 years, get all the services that she needs, parenting classes, counseling, because it's more than just drugs. There's history there, there's trauma. We talk about trauma. There's trauma there. Anytime a child is removed from his or her mother's care, that's traumatic, right? Think about not only the kids, but what the mother is going through, what the family of the mother is going through. I mean, it's a vicious cycle, and it has to be stopped. So It Takes a Village Housing proposes to be that entity that will allow children to be with their mothers and allow mothers to be what they were intended to be, which is a mother, right? Hey, nobody wakes up and says, hey, I want to be a drug user by trade.
Right.
Life happens, right? Life happens, and we don't condone those behaviors, but let's do something different. We've been doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, and that's called what? Insanity, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then
Very much so.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Can you talk a little bit about like maybe some of the things that you've seen that now what you're doing with It Takes a Village, you can kind of maybe go around, what you saw in the system, right? Because we won't get into systems here, but on this,
that's not the purpose. I'm
Right.
grateful that they gave me the opportunity to work for them,
Right.
for these 20 years. So yes, it's not about the system, but it's
Yeah.
it's correcting some of those things that were just not pleasant to the eye to see. And one of a prime example of that is this is what comes to mind. We all know that marijuana is legal in the states, right? Most states, right?
Mhm.
It's legal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the laws were the laws back in the day, and we terminated parental rights based off of marijuana.
That's
Now,
right.
that's pretty substantial. That's pretty deep.
Mhm.
And if you were to reach out to that male or female who had is rights that mother that had her rights terminated, and those two, or though she and her children don't have a relationship, that's pretty harsh, right?
Yeah.
It's what's marijuana. I don't use it, I don't condone it, but I do know that it's legal, right? Like alcohol.
Right.
And I
Right.
understand that the laws were the laws back in the day, but when you talk about doing things such as that, terminating rights based off of marijuana, that's pretty deep. And we got to do better as a system. We have to do better as a state. We have to do better as a society. We have to do better as a world. And not everything constitutes a removal.
Yeah.
I do understand that there are certain situations where removals are warranted.
Mhm.
All I'm saying is I'm a big advocate for mothers. Let's allow her to take her kids, raise them while she gets treatment, and prepare her to go back into the community, right?
Yeah.
That's what this is
Right.
about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you can now provide that treatment privately, right? So that they don't have to go through that red tape or just be avoided in the system, right? Because
Yeah, what
nobody's
we
really
basically
paying that
want to
much attention.
prevent is foster care.
Mhm.
And I'm not speaking negatively about foster care, but you may know yourselves of situations where foster care wasn't always the best for some of the kids that have been previously removed. There are some great foster parents out there, but not all foster parents are in it to take care of our kids. They're not in it for the right
Yeah.
reasons. In
That's
addition
right.
to that, foster homes are limited. Like that we don't have an abundance here in the state of New Jersey of abundant homes,
Mhm.
foster homes. And with that being said, why not try? Let's keep these kids with their mom. It makes too much sense, right? Right?
Yeah.
Keeping the kids with their mothers. It's the right thing to do. We understand too that grandmothers shouldn't be held accountable to raise their grandkids all over again, right? I know of a
That part.
grandma I'm raising a kid, she raised her kids to be able to do what she's wanted to do all of these years after raising
Right.
her kids. Now she's stuck all over again, repeating history.
Mhm.
That shouldn't be the case. And again,
Right.
there will always be situations where removals are warranted. However, that's not always the case. So
Right.
let's do something in our, in however we need to do it. Let's preserve these families, because ultimately the bottom line is this: kids don't stay little forever, right?
That's right.
And in the system, at least I can speak for the 20 years that I worked there, when kids got older and they became adults, which is 18, right? Everywhere we know you're an adult when you're 18 years of age, right?
Mhm.
Guess what they ended up doing?
Same thing.
No, a lot of them went searching for their mothers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
wow.
Didn't matter what we did as a state entity. Don't, yeah, you placed them with Aunt Susie, or you placed them with a foster parent, or you placed them in a youth, shelter, or shelters for the youth, or wherever those kids went. A lot of times they went home looking for their moms. It
Wow.
makes sense, right? That's their
Yeah.
identity. I'm a kid. Where
Yeah.
did I come from? Where's my mom? What do I know about her? Where's my grandmom? It's right. We're all an entity, and we want to know where we belong, and we're going to look,
That's
we're going
right.
to search for where we came from. It's inevitable. That's what we do as humans.
And the
So
hurt children will sometimes look for the last place where they were happy. That might have been the last place that they didn't know that they
yes.
were unsafe, or
Yeah,
the last
exactly.
place I
Yeah.
remember being happy
Exactly.
with my mom. So
Yeah, that's a great point. And I'll tell you this, many times when I interviewed these young kids, you ask certain questions as social workers that we are. If you had one wish, if I had a magic wand and I can grant you one wish, what would it be? What do you think they said?
Go home. They want to go home.
Bingo. I want to go home. I want to be with my mom. Exactly.
Wow. Wow.
So think
So
about that. That's powerful, right?
Yeah.
that
And
Yeah.
heartbreaking too, all
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
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 Very heartbreaking.
Wow. And I'm going to question now Mimi and Shima, only because, they work in the school system and have been for quite some time. Just
Wow.
to ask them, some of the things that they've had to deal with and see and work with, the department that you came from to make sure that kids are safe or they're getting what they need? Because sometimes the schools have to step in too. So talk to
Right.
us a little bit about
Yes.
what you both
Yeah.
have seen.
The schools, unfortunately, but fortunately, becomes that haven where a lot of reporting happens, because we see those children from beginning to end of the day.
Yeah.
And the telltale signs become evident, if they're coming to school hungry, if they're coming to school late, if they're not coming to school at all, if they're if they're not washed, meaning they're wearing the same clothes. So unfortunately, anybody, not just teachers, any adult in the school system, if they notice everything, we are called required reporters. So we have
Right.
to report anything that we see, and it is sad, the situations, but and kids, they just want to be kids. They just want to be in school. They want to have fun, and unfortunately, you could see life on them. You could see like situations on them. So to your point, and now what I'm seeing so much of, and this is the other sad piece, which I'm so happy you're doing this, is COVID has really changed the game for so many things, but everything is not positive about it. Now we're experiencing more homelessness than ever before. So you're talking about now this, I can't keep a roof over my child's head. You talk about separation and stuff like that. So this opportunity to be able to, go into a safe place, go into a home, get recovery, get things to help them, I think is just so positive, because unfortunately, we, once we report it, we have to take our hands off of it, and it's left to DHS, all the, the system, as we call it. And it's so good to know that there's options. And I think that's the big piece, is that, you and, I've heard, we have a close friend who also in Philly, she does her own home with recovering women. And these are the things that, because of your love, maybe because of your own experiences, but whatever it is, that ability to now have that safe place for these children and parents, I think is just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to
middle ground. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
That middle ground, kind of, because I remember even being a teacher. When you're taught to be a guardian and taught to be a teacher, and they tell you, oh, if they're unsafe, you have to make sure you report it, but you get them out of there. And I probably wanted to take the poor children home more so than reporting them to DIFAS, but it was no media. There was no cushy space.
Right.
The ones that there was an opportunity to turn things around. A lot of them never got that opportunity. What you're offering in places like you, and like you talked about, Mimi, what's her name? Oh,
Tracy.
our friend
Tracy Long.
I know. I was afraid if I was going to say it, but Tracy, it gives you that cushion before you go hard on into the law, or hard on into taking them away and never seeing them again. Sometimes you need that medium, because not, like you said, not everybody needs to be extracted.
No.
That's right. That's
I think
right.
it's important too,
Trauma
because
itself. It's gonna be trauma leaving and growing up and changing, but that first step is the traumatic portion. Oh, what do you mean my mom can't go, or I have to leave her, or she has to leave me? What do you mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what too? That first step is gonna pay attention, right? Like where the system may not, and not knocking the system, but they just may not have the resources to really pay attention. But Brandy, you were gonna say something.
Yeah, the system as it currently exists, it doesn't treat people as people. It treats them as situations and problems to be one thing separated from another. Let this thing work itself out. In the meantime, the child's kind of in limbo. So what I like and love about what you're doing here with It Takes a Village is the simple fact that you, without even saying so, understand that some people weren't raised themselves and therefore do not know how to raise a child.
Right.
Hence the
Yes.
parenting classes,
Yes.
which is an important piece, because how can somebody who wasn't raised that has a child know how to raise that child?
Yeah,
Mm.
They
exactly.
need help. They need assistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think another piece too to that is that oftentimes, and somebody had mentioned it, some people were poor. Not everybody's rich. So to
That's
be
right.
in a situation where you don't have enough money, or maybe the child is going to school with the same clothes the next day, they shouldn't be punished for that. You shouldn't punish a family because they're poor. You know what I mean? And those were
Yeah.
some of the things that we would see as well. And
Mhm.
okay, maybe she needs a washer. Why not provide her with a washing machine? Don't just yank
Mhm.
some kids, or find out the whole story, because sometimes kids themselves, they'll wear the same clothes, and not because they weren't washed,
Right.
it's because they didn't want to,
Right. That's how they are.
go bother
That's
finding
right.
another set of clothes, and that's what they wore.
Right.
But it's
So
interesting, yeah. And another thing I want to mention is that it's unfortunate, because when you don't have those three basic needs met, and which are what? Food, clothing, and housing,
housing.
we require our parents to do certain services to be able to get those kids back. And if those three basic needs aren't being met, how can we expect parents to do what they need to do? Listen, think about us. We're blessed, right? We have a home, we have somewhere to lay our heads. Most of the times, the parents that we were dealing with didn't have anywhere to go. So we have this checklist. You got to do this, parenting classes,
Right.
drug treatment, da 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 da, in order for you to get your kids back. But where am I going to sleep tonight? Is a
Mm.
big piece. And somebody had mentioned homelessness. That is a big piece. Whether you're on drugs or not, homelessness is a
Yeah.
big factor in our state, in our country. And so that's one of the things we have to target. And I say, if you have those three basic needs being met, you've won half the battle. So
Yeah.
we just have to be a little bit more mindful of those things, and try to incorporate the necessary resources that we have, so that we help these people, this population. And so, leaving DIFUS, DCPMP, DHS was the best thing that I did, because I know what my purpose is now. My purpose was not to remove families, but preserve families, because
Ah.
those kids deserve a chance. And
Mm.
there's a joke, and I'm going to say it anyway, because if for anybody out there listening, where I worked, they used to say, "Don't go to Jannette's unit because she doesn't remove kids." Okay, I didn't remove kids because I was very in tune with families. I worked with families, I worked with kids. And I found it hilarious because, if something warranted a removal, then fine. But again, some things just didn't warrant a removal. And it wasn't my decision. I didn't have the ultimate say. And so when you think about those things, it's interesting to note who is on the other end making those decisions, because we shouldn't be penalized for being poor. You shouldn't be penalized for, well, smoking weed now that it's legal. Hey, let's just work around those things. So ultimately, I am in a position now where my goal is to help these families, and that's my purpose, and that's my legacy that I would like to leave behind, is that woman that did what she could to preserve families for those adults of tomorrow. Because again, those kids don't remain kids, right?
That's
And
right.
they're gonna go home anywhere. They're gonna look for that parent. They really are.
Yeah.
They're gonna want to know where they came from. And so
Yeah.
it's just looking at the whole system. It's looking at everybody, the moms, the dads, the kids, and doing something that's gonna ensure that these kids of tomorrow don't end up in gangs. These
Yeah.
these
I
adults of tomorrow don't end up on drugs themselves. That they don't end up killing. That they don't end up in dysfunctional relationships. Come on, ladies, this is fem talk. We
Yeah.
all know of guys, right?
That's right.
We all know of guys who are like, what the heck
Yeah.
happened to you? Who are you? And
Yes.
and when you look and you trace back, guess what's at the root of the problem?
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Listen,
what
I
I like
got
to
the
say-
mic,
I
Dr.
want to
Lemon.
mention
Come on.
something. I want to mention something, and I'm gonna put Aunt Jannette on blast, but I have to do this because
No, go
yeah,
ahead.
no, I have to do this only because of what Jannette is talking about right now, and the fact that the name of your place is It Takes a Village. So we grew up in a village. Literally, it was a village, right? But we grew up in a community where all of the families came together. So
Yes.
Aunt Jannette was that person who took care of all the kids. If the moms had to go to work, and she would, when
Mhm.
once she retired,
Love
she
it.
started taking care of all the kids, right? But they got the love that they needed while their
Yes.
parents were working. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And we don't have that type of
Yes.
community
Right.
We don't have that.
anymore, where you have those mothers that will just take in all of the kids so that they can be fed, they can have a safe place to go, they can have a roof over their head while their parents are doing what they need to do to take care of them further. So I just wanted to mention that because and it takes a village, right?
It takes a village. I want to piggyback off of what you said, because
Mhm.
how I came up with that name was when I worked for DIFUS, there used to be signs around the office, and it was a white piece of paper
Mhm.
with everybody in the paper, and it said it takes a village. But guess who was missing in the center of that village? Mom. So the
Ooh.
judge was there, the probation officer was
Right.
there, the teacher was
Mm.
there, the DIFUS worker was there. You had
Wow.
everybody there except the mom. So you
So the
had
system was the
the
village and the family
yes,
was
you
missing.
had these
Yeah,
other
and that's so
people.
backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So we're
I
gonna
thought about that. I said, okay, we got to change that. It takes a village means it encompasses everybody, including the daddies, the
yeah.
fathers.
Right.
I
That's
got two
right.
things.
Oh, wait, no, wait, hold that, because that's so good. I want to put a pin in that right there, because she said, and including the fathers. So, everybody out there, don't go anywhere. We got a segment coming up by our very own Mimi Melissa Simmons. We're going to take that first, and then we are going to get into this, because I love the fact that Jeanette said, and the fathers. So, I want to just pin it right there. So, Brandy, hold on to that thought as well. And we will be right back, everybody. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, Fem Talkers, how are you doing today? I am here. My bestie, she moved to Texas recently, and we were just hanging out because as soon as she moved, I had to go follow and be with her. But she was talking, and she coined this phrase. And when she coined it, say, those aha moments of your life when you hear something, you go, "Oh my God, that's what it is." And she was talking about her daughter, because her daughter went and did this beautiful, she wanted, they just got a new house, and she wanted to paint her room, and she's so talented, loved the arts, but she could do so many things. So she decided to create this mural in her room, and it was just beautiful. And she says, "Well, my daughter, she has the octopus anointing." And when I heard about the octopus anointing, I said, "What do you mean octopus anointing?" She says, "Well, she could do anything." And when you have the octopus anointing, you should never be limited by where you went to school, by who tells you what you should do. Sometimes we get caught in the middle of trying to live life the right way. And even as parents, we are guilty of, okay, you have to go to college, and then you have to do this, and then you have to do that. And it's the best way that we know to kind of guide our children. I remember my parents, who both are immigrants to this country, their goal was to make sure their three daughters went through college because that was the American dream. But the thing about the octopus anointing, it does not stop or end, or may not even require you to do the standard things like go to college or whatever. Some may say may not. But the octopus anointing is about you being able to do whatever God given gifts you are qualified and capable of doing. It does not end because you have a degree in this. It could be finance, it could be law, it could be this. The octopus anointing is about you living out every gift you have in you and not being scared to go for it. I remember I was sitting in this meeting and I was talking to somebody I reported to, and they were saying, Melissa, we know you could do everything, but we need you to pick what you are going to do in this next season. And I remember when he said that, I looked at him and I said, why do I have to pick? And he said, because you can't do everything. But in the back of my mind, I said, but who said I can't? Who said you can't do anything and everything you want to do? So tonight, I want to leave this with you. I want you to peek and search and really open up the door to your octopus anointing and let it happen in your life. Don't limit yourself by your degree. Don't limit yourselves by who tells you you can't do this or that. I want you to start exploring how in your very own life, with the next days that God has given you, how are you going to execute and implement all of your octopus anointing? I want you to embrace it. I want you to own it, and I want you to live it. I'll see you later, girl bossed up.
Tracy, you are like
I
entirely.
was on mute.
I'm like this.
Technology, you see my mouth moving. Wah, 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 wah. Well, we are back, everybody, and we have the beautiful Jannette Ramos here from It Takes a Village. So if you missed the first part of the show, you want to make sure that you go back and watch this because she's dropping her nuggets on why she's so passionate about It Takes a Village and just everything that she has experienced and why she wants to help all of the moms and dads out there. And that's where we left off. She said, do not forget about the men. So I want Brandy to mention her comment, and then I want Jannette to go into why she said and the men, because I think that's so key, so important.
That's right.
Very much so. So I had two things. First and foremost, Miss Jannette, thank you for maintaining your heart after 20 years of seeing a system that doesn't work. Because a lot of people come out and just say, you know what? F the world. So thank you for that. And secondly, there's a lot of people in that system trying to help and they don't understand why it is the way it is, but cheap labor makes America go round. What better way to make sure cheap labor is around to be had other than keeping kids in messed up situations, removing them from homes, keeping them unstable, because the more unstable a child, the more likely they are to end up in the penal system working for little to nothing.
Or unstable adult.
Yeah, or an unstable adult, exactly. You create dysfunctional adults that go into what we were talking about earlier. They either end up dead, in jail, unemployed, dysfunctional relationships. And we've all been in contact with someone who has been somewhat dysfunctional, and we've thought, what the heck happened to you? And when you trace it back, it's pretty much that. It all starts in the home, I say. And that's pretty much it. It starts in the home. That's the foundation. If you mold, as mothers, if there are any mothers out there, we know what it's like to take care of our kids. And you ladies are probably just like I am or was with my kids, just very engaging, very loving. I love you. Just that kind of relationship that made sure, male or female, it didn't matter. You presented what you are as a mom, and that's what our kids need today, and they don't get that.
Right.
It's tough. The system is tough. Yes, it
Mhm.
does have its great moments too, because like I said earlier, there are going to be moments that we need the system to come in and take our kids because mom can't do it or grandmom can't do it or whoever these children are with can't do it. But if there's not mom, where's dad, right? A dad is important. He is
Absolutely.
important and he should be involved and it does take a village because if you don't have other
Mhm.
folks helping you like you were saying earlier, Tracy, it used to be that we had the grandmothers, you had a whole village of people taking care of our kids while mom was doing it, but she had other things that she was dealing with as well. And I just want to say that before the show ends is that as mothers, as women, we need breaks too. It's
Yeah.
not that, you have a kid and you're slave to the rest of your life to your child. No, that's not the case.
Yeah.
It's okay for a mom to go out and get a break and go hang out with a friend or go work out or go do whatever it is. We need that as human beings. We need a break. And
That's right.
definitely that's where the fathers come in. Here's your kid. Come take care of your kid for a minute. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
believe even if you can't, even if for some reason the father won't step into the picture, never stop looking for a strong male influence, regardless,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
as many women that will say, "I can do anything." Yeah, we can do a lot, but it's very hard for a woman to raise a man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
it
And I'm
really is.
glad you.
I just self-disclosure, I did raise 2 kids by myself,
Mm-hmm.
and it was difficult, but I also decided too, while I was raising them, that I was very limited on the type of male influence that I wanted because
That's right.
number one, we have to be careful as females, and this is for all the females out there who are probably in the same situation right now. As a single parent, you can do it. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need a man to come in and take control of your kids because we have to be careful who we select as those partners.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm speaking from personal choice. I chose to raise my kids by myself because I didn't want anybody, number one, telling my kids what to do,
Mm-hmm.
striking them, abusing them. And I
Yeah.
knew what I wanted for my kids. Not that there aren't great males out there, I'm sure there are. But for me, I made the sacrifice. And
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying to some of the mothers out there is it's okay to make that sacrifice because guess what
Mhm.
happens in the long run when you raise your kids as that parent and you take care of your kids? They will take care of you when it's your
Mm-hmm.
turn. You'll get the
Yeah.
presence, you'll get the interaction, you'll get the love, you'll get the time, you'll get
Mm-hmm.
everything that you put forth to your children because, again, they do come first. You have children, it's your responsibility to take care of them. And I've seen this at DIFUS with friends and other folks that, they have kids and then they just, okay, well, I'll let stepdad Ronnie or Geraldo come in and take care of them. And we know that sometimes those situations don't end up well, do they?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Right.
So, yeah.
And when I say strong male influence, I don't mean somebody that you're dating. I mean, maybe your father was a great father and you just needed to step in and give him guidance. That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean he get to
Yeah.
do this, do that, push-ups, run around the
Yeah,
block.
yeah,
Hell no. Go to your
yeah.
room. No.
Yeah, it just reminds me though, because we had even in DIFUS, we had a couple situations like that where, they ended up being fatalities, unfortunately. And, those are some of the things I don't talk about those things, but
Mm-hmm.
somebody had mentioned earlier, it was you, about being there in the 20 years and Brandy. And just it does a lot to a person. It does a lot to our workers. Shout out to all my social workers, all my DIFUS social workers, because it's not the physical work per se, but it's mentally draining. So to be in that
Yeah.
for 20 years was a lot. I'm thankful that God said, "Hey, I have something else for you. I want you to do this with these families." And I'm grateful. But for those that are still in there, do the best that you can. Remember, it's about um, saving our kids, protecting our kids, but also preserving our families because that's a big piece to it.
So
And it's a
with that, I
older
want to I want to show Jannette's commercial, so I'm going to share my screen again real quick, and then we'll do some closing. We'll do some closing.
Why is it that we don't like seeing ourselves in pictures and commercials? And so I'm like, oh, okay.
Here we go. Here we go. All right, hold on one second. Here we go. Holy. All right, can you guys see that?
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
can.
see your Apple product.
Okay, here we go. I know, right?
Hi, everyone. Jannette Ramos here, CEO and President of It Takes a Village Housing. It Takes a Village Housing is a nonprofit organization that houses women who have been affected by drug and alcohol use while having their children live in transitional housing. Services to include drug treatment, mentoring, counseling for the kids, parenting. We set them up with employment. We help them get everything that they need to get them out into the community. Go to our website, ittakesavillage1.org, and donate. Donate whatever your heart desires, and let's change families one at a time.
Yay. Yes, yes, yes.
Awesome.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
So we just wanted to play that, and I'm going to put the website up here too. It takes a village1.org, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That was a
Most
quick
definitely.
60-second. I had 60 seconds to come up with that. So, you know, after 10 takes,
I know.
There we go.
after 10 takes, Dano finally put it together. And, you know, I also have it in Spanish too.
That's
We
good.
created one for the, you know, Spanish speaking
That's
population.
so amazing.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
You know, one of the
Definitely
things I want
necessary.
to, yeah, I
I know
want to
everybody.
like, I'm sorry. I just want to say, you know, hats off to you, Jannette. I have a niece who also is in your field, and I watched it burn her out. And I'm so happy that you are able to, you know, not have it take you out, but have it, you know, take what you wanted to really do in your heart and do this now for be the solution for so many of the other people that didn't
Yes.
have a solution.
Yes.
So
I love that
my
answer.
hat
Solution.
is off to you for just doing this because it's
you.
so incredible. And
Thank
Yeah.
you know, congratulations. It's
Thank
awesome.
you.
I wanted to say the same thing, to say
Right.
thank you, because the younger me, when I was a teacher, didn't have. I felt like I didn't know how to help. You know, and you're between the administration and in between the parents, and
Yeah.
you don't know how to make sure the kids get everything they need. And I didn't really see that there was something in between before. I keep saying that because everything doesn't have to be so extreme. So
Yeah.
I'm thankful to see that there is an in between, and that, like Mimi said, you didn't get burned out. You actually ignited something new
Thank God.
and better. So,
Thank
you know,
God.
and
There
that
was,
is keeping you going, which is
Yeah.
wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I need you to keep going too, because eventually I'm going to support you wholeheartedly. Like I'm sending you some coins because I believe in what you're doing, but also
Thank
create a
you.
blueprint, because if you can do something there that's replicatable, I would love to do something here in my community similar to it.
Yes. And you know, that's actually one of my goals. And I tell Dano, I tell everybody that listens all the time, I said, this is going to be one of those models that other states are going to say, hey, show me how you did this, because we need to bring this to our state.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the most exciting news that I will ever get, because when something works, and I always say, you know, we get statistics of what happens when kids are removed and what they turn out. I said, it's going to be a great thing to be able to see concrete surveys and statistics about these kids who are in these positions now with their moms, and seeing them in the future to come back and be able to say, the numbers say this, that when a child is raised with his or her mother, this is what happens. You know, you get a lot of less of what we've been getting, those dysfunctional relationships those drug users, those killers, those gang members, those everything that
Yeah.
you think about that's negative. And I just want to say this because God put it in my heart now, especially for the males. I had 2 sons, and males have it tough. Not that females don't have it tough, but you understand that with a son, they feel like they have to go out and be this tough guy, this representation of
Mhm.
of what a man is supposed to be, and that's not true.
Yeah.
A male or a female should have the same opportunity to be loved by that mother and raised by that mother so that he
Yeah.
or she turns out to be what they're supposed to be. Males cry, males need love, male needs attention. They need everything that a female needs. And we've been misguided. I never told my kids, hey, boys don't cry. What's going on? Let's talk about it. And if we need to cry, then you cry about it. What's the big deal? So enough
Right.
of that, representation that males need to be a certain way. That is so false. That's not true. Let them be who they are, but just
Mm.
guide them in the right path in the meantime.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I just
that's
had
so
to say
good.
that.
We thank you. We thank you, Jannette, for being
Yeah.
here. Like the ladies mentioned earlier, we thank you for your heart and the work that you are doing. Listen, I don't know how you have it set up right now, but if you're connecting with local governments and the school
Yes.
systems and those people that can just help this thing grow, we
Yes,
want
let
to
me
see
let
grow,
me just
and we
say
would
that
love,
really quickly because I
yeah,
am speaking to the mayors, the congressmen. My next
Good.
person is Governor Murphy. I'm coming for you. I need to talk
yes,
to you about this. But everybody
Right.
else, all the other constituents I have spoken to, they're well aware of the campus I want to open 415 North 9th Street, Camden, New
yes,
Jersey.
All
There it is.
right.
I'm putting it out there. So when it comes back, it's
yes.
coming. It's
That's
coming.
right.
We
That's right.
love
They
it.
have a
We
lot of
have to
housing
close out the
available.
show, ladies.
Yes.
I love all of you. You have to come back because we want to know. We want you to
Yeah.
give us
We
the
want to
progress
Yeah, I
see
can
and
you.
talk
what's
about this
happening.
for hours, as
Yeah.
you guys can already tell.
We love you, Jannette. Don't go anywhere. Stay backstage.
Thank
We want to
you.
thank you real quick before
Thanks,
you go.
ladies. It's a
Thank you, everybody,
pleasure.
for joining Fem Talk this Tuesday. Catch us next week at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We love you all. Thank you very much.